dinosaur, huh?
I get it, because, DrillZilla, he's a walk.
Kinda. What's happening, Robot Wars fans? Welcome to a very special Super Bowl halftime edition of the Hardcore Podcast. We just got done watching the first half of the Super Bowl between the Eagles and the Patriots, or as I like to call it, what the is an extra point? Yeah.
We need to conveniently place censor bleep for that one, because you pretty much bleeped yourself.
Hey, I don't want to get demonetized. So yeah, to my left as always, Otaku Nate.
Hey, I don't care that I'm missing the Super Bowl. I have no horses in this race.
Yeah.
My options are a team that I've been bred to hate since I was a Giants fan, and a team that I'm sick of seeing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was rooting for the Vikings the entire season, but unfortunately, it was not meant to be.
Well, they're kind of there.
Their legacy of failure continues. So, we're going to take some time off. We're not going to bother watching Justin Timberlake. I like Timberlake, but I after what happened at the last Super Bowl he was in, I expect the worst.
Why can't they get a real band to perform at the halftime show like Judas Priest or Iron Maiden?
I'd be down with that.
Yeah. So instead, we're going to be reviewing another edition of Robot Wars Extreme Warriors Series 1. And joining us, we have ResettisReplicas.
Good evening.
And making his debut on the Hardcore Podcast, another big hardcore Robot Wars fan. In fact, he has his own series of robots, including his Antweight Nightmare clone, what is it, Ubersaw?
Ubersaw? Yeah.
It is Ryan Beaver.
Hello.
How's it going?
Doing fine, not watching the Super Bowl at all because I don't give a crap about sports.
Oh, look at you.
Yes, we have a little beaver on this show, eh?
Hey.
Yeah.
Bobby Heenan strikes again.
Yeah, so just like the last episode, except without all the audio problems, we're going to be talking about yet another U.S. Robot Wars episode. So if you haven't seen this episode, there is going to be spoilers. So this is a little spoiler alert.
But then again, you're already watching, so I'm pretty sure you don't care.
Yeah. And a little fun fact about this episode. This was the first Robot Wars episode I ever watched.
Really?
Yeah, way back, and I think it was around Easter of 2001. I was at my aunt and uncle's house, and this show came on, and everyone decided, okay, let's watch this thing. And at the time, it was pretty revolutionary seeing all this insanity and these robots going around. It hasn't aged all that well, though. I mean, you look at all these robots, and most of them are just rambots or wedges.
A lot of these could easily lose to some of the mid-card UK bots.
Yeah, I mean, it was novel just to have life in a machine back then.
But we'll go through each of these robots, and starting with the champion, a robot that a few UK guys may actually recognize. The big shuffling box covered in confetti, DrillZilla.
DrillZilla. Shuffler bot.
Not a Super Bowl shuffler.
Oh, good one.
Yeah. So, DrillZilla, when I first watched this episode, I took a good look at it, and I'm thinking, it's just some silly box with, what is those, scales on top of it? It didn't really. It just looked like a big overweight box that really didn't do anything. I mean, the jaws are just—they're not like crushing jaws. They're just like ramming jaws.
They don't have the opening height that crustacean has to effectively clamp onto something either.
But looks are deceiving because this thing is a monster. Like, it can get up to at least. The team claim it can go up to 40 miles an hour. And this is a shuffler, which, for those of you who don't know what a shufflebot is, basically, it's like a walker. It doesn't use regular wheels like most robots do, but it uses, these rubber feet that move parallel to each other, and there's a camshaft that spins around and around and around and attaches to all the feet, and DrillZilla took advantage of this, because with walkers and shufflers, they get a weight advantage. These days, shufflebots get 1.5, and walkers get 2. But given that this was 2001, DrillZilla was allowed to be at least up to the 200 kilo weight limit, and here I think it's what 100.
I think it was actually at 1.5 times the weight limit.
Well,
Yeah, at this point in
yeah,
history,
it's
the
350.
Americans had changed theirs, but the UK still had the double, so they were going by the American weight limit.
Yeah, 352 pounds. That's roughly 150 kilos.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or as the wiki says, 160
Yeah,
kilos.
I was close enough.
Close enough. We never speak that name in this show. Okay.
Okay, can I just make my joke now because I couldn't say it? Are we gonna see Close Enough again?
Kinda, sorta.
Okay, well in that case, if we don't see it again,
You see him for maybe 10 seconds, and then never again.
Close enough. Box.
Yeah. So what do you guys think of DrillZilla?
Oh no! There goes Tokyo, go DrillZilla!
yeah.
I really like DrillZilla because I'm a huge fan of shufflers, and no, it's not just because I'm a huge giant monster nut. But yeah, this thing is literally a monster. So I definitely see where people would have problems with it because it's double the weight limit. But again, the time period. So I love DrillZilla. It's one of my favorite of the U.S. robots at the time.
How about you, Ian?
It was a very interesting design. I'm amazed by how fast they made it go, like despite not using like actual wheels, because shufflers are, on paper they get the weight advantage because they're sacrificing maneuverability. So that just blows me away how fast they can go. Of course, I'd love to have seen an active weapon.
Well, I do know there are actually a select few number of shuffle bots that do have some really good weapons. BattleBots champion Son of Woyachi was a shuffler. And also, in the recent Motorama, there was a shuffle bot called Pitter Patter.
Yeah.
And it was was basically a saw blade with an arm that just goes down on everybody. It's awesome. So,
Yeah,
or no, you can go ahead, Ryan.
I was about to say basically it's for those who've seen BattleBots, it's basically saw blades with schizophrenia.
Exactly. I was about to say something. What was I going to say?
I guess I'll give my thoughts on DrillZilla. I freaking love this thing. And I just love the engineering that goes into it. Like, I would love to see it with its top off, just to see the inner workings.
Excuse me?
Not that way, you moron.
Well, I mean, it's obviously a guy, so it's okay.
Oh!
Sick burn, dude.
Want me to make it even worse? That drill's not its tail.
What is this, shunt posting?
It is.
I don't know if I want my name on this.
I'll say your name is Dave or something.
Yeah, I love DrillZilla. I love the engineering behind it. Its weapons, not the best, but I
actually did do damage.
Oh yeah, that's right. Very minor damage though. Like its primary weapon is its pushing power.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure why they even bothered with the drill.
Yeah.
Probably to give it like some personality or something.
Yeah, probably. And hey, Ryan, you say you're a giant monster fan. Our regular guest Alex the Hunted is a giant monster fan too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe I would say we could do the tag team terror, and then I realized that episode's only 4 matches long. I could probably do it myself. I don't know, but yeah, that basically covers DrillZilla. Overall, a solid performance, just completely throughout, and not many machines were able to stand up to it. Which leads us to the runner-up of this episode, and I'm going to say this. I like the team. This is Team Raptor Robotics, who built a lot of really big bots and battle bots like Alpha Raptor, Beta Raptor, Tripolta Raptor, and as we'll see later on in the series, Cyclone Raptor. Ripper Raptor is not one of their best designs, unfortunately.
Ripper Raptor.
What is this thing I'm looking at?
It's got a pair of very small discs with
It looks
actually
like a
padlock.
very.
Demolition spinners.
It looks like an old vacuum cleaner.
In the Mad Max universe.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because I see, like, you can see the spinning mechanisms. Those belts do not look safe from Carnage.
And basically, rather than just like put teeth on the discs, they just put master locks on it. Like when I saw the official pictures for it, I just thought those were like for the safeties. No, those tiny things are for the actual weapons, and I'm like, why?
And it's also it doesn't. I think it has wheels off of a wheelchair.
It's a wheelchair. It's
Yeah,
got
definitely.
exposed interiors everywhere. It wasn't until
you
the
can
second.
see its chassis.
It wasn't until the second round when they decided, okay, let's put some armor on the wheels and actually protect this thing.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that was some very cheap plate aluminum. It looked like.
It looks like a barbed wire mesh or something.
This design would probably be more acceptable in like the 1990s, like U.S. Robot Wars, back in like 1995 maybe. But even then, that's still stretching it.
Yeah, I do like the overall look and aesthetic of it though, but yeah, like in 2001, this thing is just.
It's not really pleasant to look at, but I will say it does look creative. I can't fault them for that. At least they put some kind of weird creativity into
This
it.
wouldn't look out of place in Series 2.
I question if he would even do any damage in Series 2. Yeah, but the good news is the Team Raptor will definitely go on to much better things in both BattleBots and Robot Wars. But you know what? Coming runner-up in this episode, not bad. Now, but then again, the rest of the competition in this episode wasn't super mecha ultra awesome. Particularly the third place finisher, Red Virus.
Red Virus. Spiky lifty thingy.
Yeah. I will say,
This thing looks like what Shadow of Napalm should have been.
I will say I like the color. Red is my favorite color, but the lifter is slow. And it's got these crazy little skulls in it that has like glitter built right into the brain, so that when it runs into something, it goes everywhere. But
Yeah, I bet the event organizers love that.
yeah,
Yeah, Ed was not too happy with that exit sign that spat glitter everywhere.
What story was this?
there was somebody built a beetle weight out of an exit sign.
Oh yes,
and it had
Existential Crisis. I remember that.
and
one.
it had glitter and balls coming out of it. It was silly.
For a second, when I first saw that design, I thought, okay, what's Mike up to now? Mike, in case you're curious, built that robot that I love so much called Pizza Party. He's basically Team Death if Team Death made beetle weights.
Yeah, it's like he's a guy who gives zero fucks, but just wants to entertain everybody.
He's the U.S. version of Dave Laurie from Team Die Gracefully Robotics.
Can you imagine if those guys teamed up?
Oh, no machine would be safe.
Well, you know, two-headed Death Flamingo actually beat Eruption, so with those guys teamed up, the future champions right there.
Two-headed Death Flamingo has to be in Series 11. Make it happen, BBC.
Oh, I'm sure it will. So, what are you guys' thoughts on Red Virus?
Kind of forgettable. Just their kind of standard lifter. They did be on BattleBots with a lot of robots, though. But other than that, they just were pretty much forgettable.
Yeah, they love their wheelchair designs, because basically it is a wheelchair with a chassis and a lifting arm, which can kind of lift. Like, it managed to get Ripper Raptor up a few times.
It looks more like a ram, like a battering ram, really, with how it was always raised.
Did their prongs go all the way down? Looked like in the down position they were hovering a couple inches up.
I think it broke.
Because we're not exactly at like Juggernaut 2 levels of good God, what your flipper's not even touching the ground, but I think it just didn't touch the ground because it just straight up wasn't working. As it's not a badly designed robot at all.
It would make a good beetle weight.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that on a tabletop ring.
Hey, I'm thinking of taking some electronics engineering courses, so maybe, just maybe,
We might be seeing a new robot in the otaku household.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, looking forward to that. So yeah, not much else to say about Red Virus. We do have a lot to say about the 4th place finisher in this, though. Now,
The star of the episode.
this.
Yeah.
You're not going to believe this, but this robot actually would go on to become a grand finalist. And if you have a phobia of clowns, you might not like this episode. It is, of course, the Conquering Clown.
Conquering Clown.
Basically, the only other robot that people remember from this episode is outside of DrillZilla.
Yeah.
Can I do that again?
Or say it, please.
Conquering Clown.
It's a clown.
It's a wedge.
Well, it says the weapons are hammers, but I think those like arms were just for show or to help itself
what
right.
even-
I don't know. They looked like they could work, or they looked like they were designed to work, but they just didn't.
How the heck are those things supposed to work? They look like something that came off of what Rob Knight built in the BattleBots reboot. Just a bunch of wires and just sticking pieces of hammers on the end. What is that supposed to do?
The only thing I did notice that actually seemed to function was that the body seemed to move back and forth, but that was about it.
Well, the head I think was like on some kind of spring or something where it bobbled back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
No. I mean, the actual like physical body could like tilt back and forth. I think it was on like an actuator or something.
Oh, yeah, he's
okay.
right. Yeah.
As for the
Yeah, that
hammers,
must have been for self-writing.
I love the hell.
Yeah.
I love the hell out of Conquering Clown. I've never been afraid of clowns. I don't get the fear of clowns.
Well, I don't know. When I saw its face burn up, it was pretty terrifying.
We'll get to that moment.
It looked like it
Yeah.
was straight out of It.
One of Stefan Frank's best moments in this series.
Oh my god, I love it.
He had another great line that night, but I forgot it.
I will say this though, you can't really underestimate the Conquering Clown
Oh,
because
Conquering Clown did well. If it didn't break down, I think it would have bested. It could have made the final. I'm not saying it could have beaten DrillZilla, but you know.
yeah.
it's a joke bot, but you can't always. He who laughs last. I don't even know the rest.
It's
He
not
who laughs
loudest.
last laughs
It's a
best.
joke robot with some effort put into it.
Yeah, it's like it's this series' nuts too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, any last words to say about the clown?
Sweet Tooth ain't got nothing on this guy.
Oh, sweet tooth.
Doink the Clown.
It's funny, especially since Mick Foley in his post interview, he has stated that he hates clowns. So I don't know if at some point he had a feud with Doink, but
Well, I don't know if Mick was ever. I don't think Mick was ever in the same arena as Doink.
yeah.
Not the Matt Bourne or whoever else played Doink. Doink the Clown is to the independent wrestling circuit what fidget spinners were to 2017. Doink is everywhere.
Yeah.
Like you're in every indie wrestling fan, you're always gonna have somebody playing Doink the Clown.
Hey, maybe we'll be seeing Ian as Doink the Clown soon.
Oh god.
Uh-huh.
I've seen you in real life, Ian. You'd be perfect.
Thanks. I don't know who Doink the Clown is.
Oh, we'll send you a promo
We'll Google
afterwards.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Sound
that
like-
covers the clown.
Try.
Uh-oh. Wikipedia's stupid ads.
Hang on, I'll mute this.
No, don't mute the tab. Oh, he muted the tab. Okay. So that covers the clown. Moving on to Yunabite.
Unibite.
Yeah.
Spinner.
Yeah.
I'm
The
gonna-
best one here.
Yeah, it's just a shame. I mean, Jerome Miles, for those of you who don't know, this is the guy who built Red Devil in the BattleBots reboot. Hyperactive, which both the heavyweight and the featherweight version.
Didn't he also build Gnome 2?
Yes, he did.
We don't talk about Gnome 2.
We're not gonna let you live that down, Jerome.
Yeah, and he also built. He's actually working on a new design, and from what I understand, it's going to be even more complex than Red Devil. And I'm like, holy shit, dude!
How
Don't
the
go
hell is
into
that even
Mortis
possible?
territory now, you hear?
Yeah. Well, Yunabite. I will say this. I actually really liked the look of Yunabite. In fact, when I was starting to get
It looks
into,
like something that the Tetanus team would build.
Yeah. It looks like a real old school, like the whole big rusty saw blade. It really looks like something straight out of the early days of Robot Wars, where you just put big saws on rather than your big lawnmower blades or
And
carbide spinners.
And it could do damage.
Yeah, the biggest problem, unfortunately, was reliability.
Yeah, it seemed way too fragile.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
basically, I believe what knocked it out was the power link.
Oh
So,
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, its switch went off.
his $5 kill switch.
Well, next time you gotta buy a $10 one.
I keep telling him just put duct tape on it. But they never listen. I knew what they were up to, and they didn't listen.
I told you I'd shoot, but you didn't believe me. Why didn't you believe me?
Yeah, it's a shame we didn't get to see a whole lot of Unibite, but in the time that we saw it, it was really cool.
Yeah. I like it because, again, I like the kind of scrapyard feel of it, but also I'm just a huge sucker for saw blades, so...
Well, your Antweight has a saw blade.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, I'm a huge sucker for saw blades.
Hope that doesn't rip out your tongue.
Hey.
Yeah, but yeah, that covers Unibite. And finally, we finish up with what is quite possibly the most forgettable robot ever, Skullmania.
Skullmania. Lifter.
There was a robot called Skullmania? I totally forgot.
Yeah.
This is, if we do awards for this series, Skullmania is a strong contender for most forgettable robot.
Like, the only thing I really remembered about it was that it had the skull on the front, but I couldn't remember what its weapon was. And apparently it has it's meant to have a thwacky, spiky tail at the back.
Yeah, I can see it.
But we never saw it in action because it fell off like 10 seconds into the match. So, And that lifter, that was not going to get under anything.
It looks like a very low rent Hellbent.
Yeah. I mean,
In terms of its shape and its overall aesthetics.
and I especially love its strengths. Lifter acts as a wedge.
No, it's the wedge lifter combination.
Yeah. I will say though, one thing I really do like about this episode, even though the matches weren't great, just about all of these machines really do look like they came from out of a Mad Max movie. Like Raptor has that weird looking wheel design. Skullmania has the skulls, which probably came from a victim. Unibite has the big saw blade you'd put on the front of a truck. Like aesthetically, the robots look cool. Combat wise, not so much.
Yeah.
You know, actually, I just realized. You know who Conquering Clown? Kinda. I just remembered. He kind of reminds me of Joker from Akira, the whole clown gimmick. I can see Joker riding around with a giant wedge on the front.
Actually, now that I look at it, you know what it reminds me of? I can't look at this robot without seeing it being driven by the guys from Payday the Heist.
I have no idea what that is, unfortunately.
It's a video game, I think. Right?
Yeah, it's a video game.
Payday the Heist.
No.
Twisted Metal.
Yay, Twisted Metal.
Yeah, I'll show you,
Oh, God. Hey, look, one of them's got a Marty Skrull mask.
Marty Skrull.
Skrull.
Yeah, the Plague Doctor mask.
You know who else has that same mask? Leon Van Meert from Belgium.
Really?
He has like his own costume with the weird-looking bird mask and the coat.
Yeah, that's what's called a Plague Doctor mask.
Oh, yeah.
All he needs is the umbrella and he's good. But yeah, that pretty much covers all the machines. And as Nate looks at all the screenshots from Heist, or Payday the Heist, we'll go on to the matches, and I think we can blow through these all pretty quickly because most of these matches were just all the bots ramming into each other.
Yeah, the first match was easily the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I can't really remember a whole lot from it other than Unibite was just taking pieces out of everybody. And,
The kid made a funny comment about match
we'll talk to
fixing.
that. We'll talk to that. We'll get to that.
But yeah, basically Yunabite was going around, it took out Skullmania's tires, and then it just completely wrecked the side of Raptor.
Did you hear what Stefan Frank called the floor flipper?
Yes.
He called it the ejector.
Apparently he was watching the Celebrity Special. Which, why would he? That episode was dirt horrible. Yeah, but...
I think
Ryan?
the only thing that interesting that I remember from this first fight, though, was Skullmania's tires after they got immobilized. How the hubs were spinning inside the tires the entire time afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why some guys on the live circuit, they use super glue or rubber cement to keep their tires on the hubs.
You know what I do with my featherweight? I use Coulson wheels that come with Coulson hubs. Basically what I do is I heat up the hub, and then I can just slide it right onto the wheel, and it just fits snug onto there. It's pretty cool.
Ah, the magic of thermal expansion. Thanks for that episode, Evangelion. That's one of few good things I remember from that show.
Yeah, but amongst all this chaos, Skullmania ended up getting retired by Yunabite.
Boo!
Oh, come on. How many, I swear, I am up to here on the amount of bad jokes I've made over the years. Jonathan Pierce is, I'm reaching up to the ceiling right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's already smashed the glass ceiling with Shunty McShuntface.
Yeah.
I really want to meet Jonathan Pierce one day.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't say armament. Yeah. That covers the first match. Skullmania got its wheels ripped up and then flipped by the floor flipper. And one of the big things I noticed about this episode is that the hazards get a lot of use here.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Big time.
we got the floor flipper 1, 2,
3 times?
3 times, I think. The pit got used 1, 2,
I
3
think
times.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't know.
The flame pit got used a couple times, including one particular moment. And the house robots did stuff, but not really. I don't know. I don't really remember the house robots doing much in this episode, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that covers the first round. Skullmania's out.
And we also got the line of the night, where the kid from the team, I think it was Austin, Foley, God bless Mick Foley, because he was great with the kids in this series. He said, you feeling bad that you lost? And the kid says, actually, we were thinking that we were gonna lose, or something like that. And Foley says,
That we were supposed to lose.
And Foley just looks at him and says, Wait, you were supposed to lose? What do you think this is, professional wrestling?
Way to expose the business, Mick. Just completely.
Yeah. Should we edit this out so that none of our viewers have their innocence shattered?
It's still real to me, damn it!
It's a worked shoot. Yeah. And fun. That kid on the Skullmania team was the only child in this entire episode. I think.
Yeah, I think
the second youngest was Jerome, who was only 15 here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was a total. It was like watching a bunch of drunk guys at a bar. Got guys in clown makeup and clown hair, guys in these fancy camo suits, and all kinds of wackiness.
Hey, if there's one thing we can say that was good about Robot Wars Extreme Warriors, some of the teams had a lot of personality to them.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's what
Ironically, I actually think that Skullmania's team was way more memorable than the robot itself, because they had the whole Terminator vibe, and of course the kid stuff.
Yeah.
And as I said, that kid had that one line.
Yeah, well, bye-bye, Skullmania. We'll never see you again since they had to drop out of the U.S. Championship. Well done. So, round 2, quite similar to the first, although it did have a couple moments. Basically, Yunabite took out the clown's fro. It was funny. And then Yunabite just broke down.
Yeah. Well, it's time for them to flip the switch.
Oh.
It's a major turnoff for them.
Oh.
Everybody gets one.
Okay, now one thing I did like about it is when he was pushed on the flame, but this is just me, and because I do like physics at times, I did like how when the saw was spinning over the flame pit, it would actually suck the flames inside the robot. I thought that was pretty cool.
That would actually be a pretty amazing weapon. You have a saw blade and just a little like flamethrower or something that just. If you've ever seen those fireworks, those that has the wheels on it, and it's spinning around and around real fast, and it's like a big wheel of fire. That sounds really cool.
I've actually been prototyping with an idea for BattleBots about a vertical disc spinner that actually has a flamethrower built into it.
Didn't Nightmare have that in the reboot?
We thought
no.
We thought it did, judging by the preview. Turns out that was just one of the Warrior Clan mini-bots. Yeah, which is a shame, but it was still it was still an awesome spectacle. It actually really did look like Nightmare was shooting flames, which it technically was, but...
Yeah, but I just thought the idea where it would actually use centrifugal force to throw the gas through the blade and have an igniter at the end of the tooth, so it would actually like shoot fire as it spins.
That's pretty interesting.
We'll try that out. Just don't murder anybody. Don't cook anybody.
I'm more concerned about burning my mom's house down. Forget killing anyone. If I burn her house down, she's gonna be pissed.
Yeah. So Yunabite goes out in the second round, and unfortunately, because the round 3, it was basically Battle of the Rambots.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no weapons left.
No.
But we did get one moment. One very memorable moment.
I think before we get into that, I will say, the Clown, you gotta say, it did put up a good fight. Basically, this match was basically 2 fights going on at the same time. Red Virus.
Hey, Homestar.
Oh my god, I need a drink.
Yeah, it was
I
Red
am
Virus
so
versus...
very thirsty.
It was Red Virus versus Raptor and DrillZilla against Doink.
Yes. And you gotta hand it to the Clown. They actually managed to push DrillZilla back.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't
really good. Really strong effort by the Clown. That's another observation from this episode. Stefan Frank kept calling Conquering Clown just the Clown.
Because Conquering Clown is a long name.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you're doing color commentary, you want to shorten things when possible, just to keep the action going.
Honestly, though, I'm not gonna get mad at him though, because really, the Clown is just as good a nickname as any.
Yeah.
So basically, the Clown tried, but unfortunately, DrillZilla, and this was really funny. The Clown is wide enough that it can just fit right between DrillZilla's claws. So DrillZilla can just push it wherever it wants to. And then finally, the Conquering Clown just kind of got whiplash and paralyzed itself. And then DrillZilla decides, all right, time to burn this baby up.
And it's here we get one of the best lines from Stefan Frank. Well, every party needs some clown to do the barbecue.
I'm melting! No!
This is a family show.
I gotta... Seeing the Clown's face burn up, that is legit terrifying. That's like one of the most horrifying images I've ever seen.
Run, it's Pennywise.
Oh my god.
But what happened... That scene is what happened there is basically it means the face melting scene from Indiana Jones, and that's what you get there.
Yeah, exactly.
Conquering Clown turned into Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
It's I can only imagine how Jonathan Pierce would react to this. I don't know if the fear of clowns thing is as big in the UK as it is here in the US.
I don't know.
But I'm just imagining...
Why don't you ask Tim?
We'll have to ask him if we ever have him back.
Oh, but if I do another top 10 moments in Robo Wars list, this is definitely going to be one of them. It's just, this is up there with Dietor on fire is always cool to see, but just seeing this burns up is just... I loved seeing it when I first saw this episode, and I still remember it to this very day.
It's hilariously disgusting, to put it this way.
I just love how its face comes apart with the frame.
Oh, God.
And at the very end, it's like the head is just like when it goes on its side. It's unburdening.
Just gave up. Yeah. This was phenomenal. And so the Conquering Clown goes back to hell from whence it came, where he floats down there along with Skullmania and Yunabite.
Also, like Skullmania, he had to pull out of the U.S. Championship.
Yeah,
sadly,
it's unfortunate. And he had to be replaced with Tiger Cat of all machines. Oh god, I have a rant scheduled for. Well, actually, I shouldn't because it was a loner bot, but. You know, it actually terrifies me that Tiger Cat almost won that match. But
did it?
I believe it was the only robot still mobile at the end. Manta was dead at the end of that match. I swear to God. And Nate decided to let's watch the Super Bowl. No?
Sorry, no.
What was you didn't see the score?
It's 22-19 Eagles.
Don't blow it, Eagles.
I hope they blow it.
Oh yeah.
Just so that you're just because I think we're gonna edit this out, obviously. Just so that urinating tree will have a funnier congrats video in the works.
It'll have a legacy of failure set up for the Eagles.
I think my favorite joke about the Super Bowl so far is basically this game will determine whether Philadelphia burns down the city happy or sad.
Yep.
Yeah. City of brotherly love. Turn into a war zone. So, round 4, it's down to DrillZilla versus Raptor versus Red Virus, and it was
we got to see the angle grinders do something, I guess.
Yeah, it reminds me of like one of the rumbles that I was in with one of my own robots. And for those who don't know, I always run wedges. So there was all wedges in one spinner, and he started to get into trouble, and the announcer was not having that. He was saying, "Please do not destroy the only weaponed robot in the fight."
He's part of the anti-wedge coalition.
Yep.
No
and
whining losers.
And this fight would be why.
Yeah. And yeah, but basically, Red Virus tried, but when you're fighting a robot that is 3 times the size of yours, you're not gonna hold up that way.
And twice as heavy.
Yeah.
Yep. Or 1.5, I think.
Red Virus is 174. 200 pounds, I believe.
It's twice
200.
as heavy. It's
I
twice
have the
as
wiki
heavy.
open in front of me.
Red Virus is 200. DrillZilla is 352, so 1.5 times. So yeah. This poor wheelchair just got mangled.
Yeah, it was funny how Raptor said before the match that they were going to do all the dismantling of Red Virus. Instead, they just hang back while DrillZilla takes care of it.
Yeah. What a coward.
Yeah. This is also probably the most boring use of the floor flipper I've ever seen in my life. It literally just goes in the air and then just goes plop.
I actually did get a little chuckle out of that. Like, because usually whenever a robot gets launched off the floor flipper, you know, they'll usually bounce off the floor or do a little roll. It's like, it felt like a lawn dart. It just chucked in the air and went...
Yeah. I think it just had, and I like the little sound effect they threw in, which, by the way, you know what I didn't like about this episode? They constantly reuse the crowd cheering sound effect. I swear I heard it like 10 times in this episode.
I want to watch an episode of Robot Wars, not play Extreme Destruction.
Exactly.
Fun fact, I actually own Arenas of Destruction.
I do too.
I found it at a Best Buy for a penny.
What?
A penny!
I don't think
even
I've
know they
ever
did
seen
that.
anything sold for that low in my life.
Yeah, and it just so happens that I had a lucky penny in my pocket that I picked up off the ground, and they honored the price.
Awesome. Yeah. I think the game's worth a little more than that. Like, it's a really faulty game, but I still get enjoyment out of it.
Yeah,
Like,
I consider it the best of the console PC games, to be honest, compared to Extreme Destruction.
Extreme Destruction is like trying to control a robot on an ice rink with all the house robots.
That carrier level gives me PTSD.
Holy shit.
Don't ever play Pussycat in that game.
Don't play Pussycat in any of these games.
Yeah.
You'll get nightmares.
Unless it's Robot Arena 2.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Have you made a Pussycat yet, Ian?
No, not yet. Although there's a couple packs that have. It's okay. I mean, there's like not a lot of credit given for driving finesse, so anything with a bigger weapon is probably gonna beat it.
So Red Virus goes out, and we'll move on to the final. And before the match, the team captain of DrillZilla says, 1 minute or less, we're gonna take out Raptor. And he didn't take Raptor out in a minute. He took him out in 5 seconds.
Yeah, not much to this fight. DrillZilla just shoves Raptor into the wall, and that was it for them.
The side plates certainly helped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing how much they crumpled.
I have to kind of laugh how short. I think because of how short this fight was. I mean, I haven't seen all of Extreme Warriors, but they had this massive montage just basically crazy shunts just before. I think because the final was so short.
That's the filler segment. Like, there's only 5 matches, but I guess they didn't have enough highlights to record everything, so they just threw in a random shunt vignette.
Padding.
Padding. Padding.
I think that's what happens when you basically have DrillZilla enter. He basically just kills everyone. You don't have enough time left for the whole episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that pretty much covers the final, and yeah, it was a disappointing end, but overall, in DrillZilla, they actually got a belt for this series, like a WWE Championship belt or the Challenge belt. Yeah. I don't know if they got to keep it. I have heard they were just given like trophies as props.
Yeah, I think it was a prop.
Yeah, I don't think they were allowed to keep it.
That is horseshit.
Well,
yeah, I know.
Holy cow, Vince Russo is right. Wrestling belts really are just props.
Although I do know Manta got to take home the War of Independence trophy for some reason.
I don't know if they got to. I think they just did.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like what's his name, Ryan Reynolds with the Deadpool suit. He just took it because it's like, I earned it. I'm taking it.
Yeah, there you go. But overall, honestly, I don't think the episodes aged all that well, because the matches for the most part were kind of boring. Just a bunch of rambots going around, but it had its moments, but it wasn't really all that exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it a 4.
I'm a little generous. I'll give it a 5.
Ryan?
I'll give Destroy All Robots a 5 as well.
And Ian?
I'm going 6, and
Okay.
I'll tell you why. It's because these Annihilators, they don't always have the whole 5 fights happen. Like, way too often we see only 4 fights because one robot that survived the round ends up taking too much damage and having to quit.
Yeah. Or if you want, or the 3 rounds if you want to be the second Annihilator.
Yep.
What a disaster that was.
Was this the second one for Extreme Warriors or the second?
Oh no, the one for Extreme Warriors was awesome. The one for UK Extreme was pathetic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about the one with Napalm.
Oh.
And Hippopotamus.
Yeah.
Jim Jamatic will definitely be rambling about that one.
Yeah. But
this was very much a one robot Annihilator. Like, you could tell who was gonna win it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like, if you haven't seen the episode before, you couldn't have been able to tell who was gonna win, since DrillZilla was mostly just a box. But as soon as the final came around, you realize, this thing has just got it's heavy, it's powerful. Raptor's not going to do anything to it. So yeah, that pretty much covers that.
It'd actually be interesting to see who would win in a fight: the old Son of Waiachi versus DrillZilla.
Probably Son of Waiachi.
I think DrillZilla could take it, given its pushing power.
I mean, Son of Waiachi has like the full double weight allowance because it was using the old rules.
But DrillZilla is also basically nothing but armor. So
yeah. But that pretty much covers this episode. We have the rest of the Super Bowl to cover, and from what I understand, the Eagles are winning. 29-19. Can they finally dethrone the Patriots, or will they pull a Falcons?
I hope they pull a Falcons.
Oh, really?
Just because I want to laugh at EDP 445.
Yeah, well, I want to see
Don't look up who that is unless you want to cringe.
Please, no.
Although I will say this about EDP. He's at least a lot more likable than the Paul brothers.
Well, he doesn't record any dead bodies or anything, or making a, or I don't know. Has he made any videos of him flying around the streets being a nuisance?
No, but he has filmed video of him doing something not so with a cowboy's cap.
All right, let's see if the Eagles can finally finish this.
All right.
And
come back next week when these nerds discuss who would win in a fight, Mega Tento or Hippopotamus. Battle of the oversized sandboxes.
yeah,
Next time we've got the Civil War, so that should be a blast.
North, South, East, and West. Everybody knows a name. Oh yeah, Rich Swann isn't with the company anymore.
Did they release him, or is he just?
Or actually, I think he's just suspended. So.
Yeah, he's suspended.
Yeah, but yeah, that pretty much covers the Annihilator. We've got a game to get back to. Until then, I'm the Hardcore Kid.
And I'm Otaku Nate.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Ian, and there's a preview up on my channel.
Woo! Woo! And peace out!
Hang on. Wait.
Bye.
Aurora Borealis.
What?
Aurora Borealis.
Alphabetti Spaghetti?
Good night.
Resetti.
Good night.
Night.
So yeah. Let end the episode with just me saying Aurora Borealis.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Turn off the Skype recorder. Let's get back to that game.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
See you guys
All right.
later.
See you later.
See you
Thanks for
later.
having me here, guys.
Huh?
Thanks for having me here.
Hey, good to have you on, Ryan.
All right.
Bye.